bags here. This is the second part to the Huntsville trip. This is the gear part. This is the after the trip gear, what I had, what I liked, didn't like, and what I learned. Okay, I guess I'll start with water. So what I took for water was this bottle and this bottle and a small bottle. So this is how much I have left of this. Can you tell? This is how much water I had left from my trip. Now, Mike had made us coffee, so I did have coffee a few times, and that did not detract from how much water I had. I did make a couple of meals using this, and that's about it. So I did pretty good. I did about perfect on how much water I took. Now, there was a water thing at my campsite that I could have used. Now I don't think that was filtered water, so that may not have been good to use to drink, as I was not going to boil it, and I didn't find my water filter in my bag. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in there. I don't know, but it should be in there, so we'll have to research that later. Okay, so I did about perfect on how much water I took for the trip. Now I want to talk about this. This is what I use for my coffee pot, for my coffee, and it has a lid. I need to wash it out, but it's pretty big, and I love that I can put the top on it and nothing can fly into it, leaves or what have you. And I really enjoyed using this. So even though it is a little bit bigger and bulkier, I think this is something I'm gonna keep using because this is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, and then I guess to tell you about the electronics that I took. I really didn't take too much extra. I mean, I took all the lights that I had because last time, as you know, I didn't have enough lights to be able to continue the trip. So this time I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of lights. I have a couple of flashlights. I didn't even get these flashlights out. And I plugged up one of these lights out there and it didn't work. It didn't work. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do some more testing on these. But if I can't get these to work, I have two of these. And I have two battery banks. So, so I have two of these. So if I can't get these to work here, I'm going to do some testing. I don't think there's any on and off switches on them. But if I can't get these to work, I will not be taking these again. Because I have two of these and I plugged it in, it didn't work. Okay. So I have two battery banks here. This is a small Walmart battery bank. This is an Anchor battery bank. This one I use to charge my phone. I charged my phone probably till about 80% twice using this. I know it's got more charge on it, but that's all the charge that I used. And this morning I didn't recharge it. That's why my phone was like really running out of charge and I had to charge it before I could start making videos. Okay, but this one, I'm really glad that I brought two, and I think that's very useful because what I did with this battery bank, I have these lights. I love these lights. So I'm probably going to put like little screenshots in this video to show you like how the gear was used. This, I was able to, okay, let me show you what I did. I plugged this into here, okay, and I put this in the organizer, the hammock gear organizer, and left this part hanging down, and then this part was inside the no, this was outside. This was on the Rainfly Ridgeline. This was on the Rainfly Ridgeline, and I'll put a picture in there of that. And it was it's even longer than I need. I got a hair somewhere. Okay, there we go. And I was able to get it from the head of the hammock to the foot of the hammock, and it changes colors. And this was just amazing. I love this. It's perfect. And I used it in conjunction with this. It has a little hook here, and I put it on the inside. I put it on the hammock ridge line, not the rainfly ridge line, the hammock ridge line, so that I could reach this from inside of my hammock. And what I did was I pulled the organizer like all the way till like right above my chest, so it was much easier to reach, and I could just reach up just a little like this and turn this off and on. It has 3 settings. It was $15. I just got this at Walmart like right before the trip. So this is a new piece of gear, and it worked out perfectly. And I left it on the lowest setting like all night, just so it would have a little bit of light. It was kind of bothersome, but I had to get used to sleeping with it on, because I didn't want that little bit of light throughout the night, because it was pitch black. It was total darkness. So I didn't want that little bit of light, and it was just perfect. And I like how it's so thin. So this is a must-have for any future trips. Okay, and these lights were so perfect, and I was able to finagle them and position them to where this was the only part that was kind of hanging down a little bit. So all of this was up, and then I had this part down. It's like undone. This part hanging down just a little bit, so that I could reach this from where I was in my sleeping position in my hammock, and turn the lights on and off. So I had this just hanging down just a little bit like that, and then all of this was up, and this is all that I needed to control the lights. So let's see, this is the remote for the lights, so I don't need this. I don't need to take this. So this doesn't go anymore. This is something I can cut out of my pack. I don't need this at all. I can just use this. I know how to do it now to where this hangs down, and I can just use this, so I don't need to take this at all. Okay, so I guess that's it for electronics. I did not even get out the other lights. I just didn't need to. So I didn't. Okay, so an important note, very important note, always check your backpack. Here's my backpack. Always check your backpack before each trip to make sure that it is specific. It has the specific correct gear that you need for that particular trip. I did not do that before this trip, because the backpack is heavy and I'd have to carry it up the stairs. So I did not do that for that reason, and I knew that I was going to be taking some extra things to account for the fact that I didn't know what was in the backpack. And I do that ahead of time. But that made me have like twice as much of a couple of different items. One thing was clothing. I took this bag of clothing. Well, it had more in it at the time. It wasn't a hiking trip. It was a car camping trip. So I did take extra clothes and socks, and I didn't use all of them, but I took them just in case I needed them, in case my clothes that I had on got wet. I did change my clothes probably once, but I didn't need to. And then I had the thermal pants. It got really cold, so I put the thermal pants on, and I was afraid to change into some pants that weren't thermal because I was still cold. So this is how much extra clothes that I took that I didn't need. And I had put these two on. I had this after the first day. I put this sweater on, and I had this sweater on, as well as my big jacket. Now, the problem is, while I was setting up, I took everything out of my making a video. I took everything out of my backpack, and I found my bag of clothing. It is in a red stuff sack. I don't know where that is now. I've looked in the two big bags that I took as well. They're not in there. So now what I'd like to do is take everything out of the backpack and see if together we can find that red bag of clothing, because I couldn't find it, and I don't remember seeing it when I packed the backpack back up. So I'd like for us to look for it together. I didn't see it, and it's not in either one of those two big bags that I took. And I also did take a camp chair, and that came in very useful. That was very helpful, because I was able to put some of the things in the chair to keep it off of the ground, to keep it from getting wet, and it did make it not get wet. And I had my rain jacket, which is here, my rain jacket, and my pack cover, the purple pack cover. I usually don't carry that, but I took it this time so that I could cover things up. So I had the rain jacket and the purple pack cover covering the things up that were sitting in the chair. I had it poked up under the hammock so that it wouldn't get wet, but it was sticking out a little bit, so I had those things over the top of it so that it wouldn't get wet. But and that worked out fine. That's what I'm glad I took the chair, because it did help me keep my stuff dry. But when I set up my hammock, like last time when I went out, I put the rain fly on backwards, but this time I remembered not putting it on correctly, so it was perfect. And my pitch was almost perfect. I only had to go and adjust it one time, and it was perfect. I couldn't believe that. That's like the only time I've ever made like a perfect pitch. It was so crazy. So crazy. And we'll talk about this in a minute. Well, we can go ahead and talk about it. This is food. This is the food bag that that I took. This is the food bag that I went to the store and I bought a couple of things so that I would have enough food for the trip. But this is the food bag that was already in my backpack. So I have double food, and this is how much food I brought back. So, I mean, I wanted to have enough for the trip, right? But I didn't need this. And honestly, I really didn't need to buy anything. But I mean, I had to buy the light. But if I had gone through my backpack, I probably could have found, enough so that I wouldn't have had to do that, and that would have been very helpful. Very helpful. So this is all just a little bit wet, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I brought this in today. This is the snake skin with the rain fly. This is a little bit wet. I did not know this was wet. Now I'm feeling it. It's wet. And bug spray. Well, this is almost empty, it seems, but this would have been enough. And I never even had to use the bug spray. I have this one, and I have a bug spray in there, and I have bug spray wipes. I did not use any of that, which probably I only would have needed to have one. Probably this would have been enough, and it was already in my backpack, so I did not need to take an extra one. So that's something else extra that I took and I did not need at all. Which you should never go into the woods without bug spray, but I didn't use any of it. I didn't need it this time, and the bugs really like to eat me up, so. Okay. Something else I want to talk about is stuff sacks. Okay, you hear all of the hikers talking about you don't need the stuff sacks and stop putting so many stuff sacks. And I thought that I had taken out all of the stuff sacks that I didn't need. I thought I had taken out all of the stuff sacks that I could take out. But as I was pulling everything out of my backpack, I'm like, stuff sacks? I had like 4 or 5 stuff sacks, and it didn't make any sense to me. Like, how could I have this many stuff sacks? And if you're squeezing everything together, it's going to squeeze down the same. So I have like 4 stuff sacks that I'm taking out of there, which I thought I was doing good, but apparently not. So I've got another stuff sack. This one's for the new sleeping bag liner, and it fits in there. But I mean, look at all this and the extra. This is gonna take a lot of weight. I'll show you how many stuff sacks I have once I get them all out here. Okay, so I don't really want to pull this. Oh, holy cow! I was missing a strap, and here it is. It is stuffed into this like water pouch in the back of the backpack. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. I had this the whole time. I was missing one strap. It was not in the back in the stuff sack with the straps. There's only one in there. And I had this the whole time and I didn't know it. And I ruined the strap that was on the top of the backpack in case I needed to strap something to the top of the backpack. I ruined it because I ghetto rigged it and I tied one end together and the other end together, and I, so I basically ruined that because I can't get the knots undone. I'll try to get it undone. Maybe I can salvage it, but I had this the whole time and didn't know it. Alright, so now let's pull this stuff out of here. This is the Z-Packs pack liner, as you remember from the video that I got. And I just stuffed all of this in here that was supposed to stay dry. This is the hammock. It's wet, and I did not know it was wet. I'm glad I'm taking all of this out now because I did not know this was wet. I'm trying to get the ridge line of the hammock to stay in the shape. This is wet. I need to hang this up somewhere in here so it can dry. I did not know it was wet. Okay, and I put that yellow accordion pad under me, so that's probably why I didn't feel that it was wet. And I had blankets too, but that is definitely wet. It's a good thing I didn't feel it. This is the under quilt. It is a 45-degree REI under quilt. I got it one year when it was on sale for like $75. So I put this on for the second night, and I did notice it in the morning when I woke up. It really did help. It took me a while to get warm at night, but I did get warm, and I was nice and toasty when I woke up, and this really helped. When I got it lined up, I was only able to clip one of the sides. It only has like the clip thing like in the middle on the hammock and on the under quilt, so I can clip it like this, a toggle on each side, but it only lined up on one side so that I could connect it, but I did that. And I didn't know how to like pull this up in case I needed it during the night, but as it like did itself like naturally, the hammock would come down to about here on this side and then like up to here on the other side. So with this under it, this came up to here on this side and then down here on the other side, so it kind of evened out. So that was good. That was good. This is the liner for the sleeping bag quilt liner. I used that for a little while. Well, I probably should have tried harder to use it on the second night. This is a brown blanket that I've had like forever that I love, and I know it's big and bulky, but I believe this is a necessity, and this part, this soft part here, like, it really makes the difference in being warm. This material gets you warmer faster, so I really love that. I've always loved that. Okay, now it looks like we have the sleeping bag. It is a sewn foot box quilt, hammock gear, 45 degree, I think, and I love that. And it folds down so compactly. I just love it. Oh, thank goodness. I did not see this when I was packing up. And thank goodness, here is the bag of clothing that was already in my backpack. So I had this bag of clothing and the other bag of clothing. I don't know what's in here. Now, that's all that's in the backpack. Oh, there's more stuff down there. Oh, holy cow. Okay. More stuff sacks. What did I tell you? This is a stuff sack that I purchased from somewhere. Something was in this stuff sack and I took it out. I don't know what. And I think the underquilt was in, I'm pretty sure the underquilt was in this stuff sack. So I believe the only stuff sack that I'm going to continue to carry is the red stuff sack, because it's kind of soft and I can use it as a pillow. And I did determine that I do need a pillow. Before I said that I didn't think I needed a pillow, but with this trip I did determine that I do in fact need a pillow. So I think what I'm going to do is use my clothing bag for a pillow. So I'm not going to purchase a pillow or do anything funny like that. I'm just going to use my clothing bag, and I'd like to see what is in the clothing bag. Now this one I bought from somewhere, and it has this sticky here. Some people say Velcro. That's what we always say, but Velcro is a name brand and we're not supposed to say that. But this bag I have to roll down so that I don't get it stuck, because if it's unrolled, the clothes will get stuck to the sticky part and get messed up. So I always do pull that down. Oh my goodness, now look what we have in here. We have a hat. We have a hat. It goes like this. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we have, let's see what else we have. Oh, sealskin socks, which I did not need for this particular trip, which are heavy. All right. Oh, sock liners, which I did not need. This was not a hiking trip. Sock liners. We don't need sock liners. It's not a hiking trip. Hiking socks. That would have been nice if I knew they were in there. My feet were cold. Have here. Ooh, another thing for your head. Balaclava. We have that. Okay, let's see what else we have. Oh, we have pants. I could have, this is liner pants. This is you know, inner liner pants, which those could have been used. That was helpful. Oh, a buff. Oh, I would have put that on. Oh, I so put that on if I knew that was in there. Oh my gosh. And an extra handkerchief. Okay, that is it for this clothing bag. Yeah, I think I'll put the stuff back in here that I think I'll use if I have another trip like the one that I took. Most of this stuff was not needed for the kind of trip that I just came back from. Okay, now what I want to show you. Alright, I think that's it. I have some extra stuff in there that was not needed, but yeah, this is so light. Like, I know like trash compactor bags, there's like a whole bunch of other bags that are like so much cheaper than this, and this was $50. So, but I love this. This is a Z-Packs pack liner. I know people will talk about other stuff, but I love this. Okay, now I'll put in a picture of my tent setup the way I had it. I had a perfect setup, perfect pitch on one end. It was perfect. Well, you know, I was missing a strap, so I used a strap. Well, I haven't come across that yet. Oh my gosh. It was a backpack strap, so I used that on the head end of the hammock, and I had to put it very close to the tree because it's not a very long strap, but it did hold up and it did wonderfully, and I didn't fall down or anything. So that was good. That worked out wonderfully. The other end is where I used the other strap that matched this. I'll put them together. And then the stakes, I've decided. The stakes, I had purchased a bag that is specific for stakes, and it's from All Man's Right. I got it from Homegrown Gear or something online. The one that they always talk about has all the camping stuff. Anyway, this is a bag that is specific for stakes, and I love it. I love it. But I've decided that the stakes need to go inside of the backpack on the side. So that's where those are going to reside instead of the outside of the backpack, where, you know, my last trip I couldn't find those. So that was one of the reasons why we had to vacate the trip, because I couldn't find those stakes because they had fallen out into the trunk of the car and never to be seen again until daylight a few days later. So I've decided those need to go in there. That's a new spot for that. So I had the hammock set up, but the front end I had a perfect close on it, and the back end I was missing some clips and some strings. I was just missing some random stuff that I couldn't come up with, so I couldn't close the door on the back side. But a few weeks ago I purchased this off of Temu, and it's a camouflage, but it's like a plastic, and it has all these holes in it. So I set this on the back side of the rain fly that was open. It kind of created a little door and it made like a little private. So like people couldn't really look in, I couldn't really look out. It's just hanging there like on both sides. I'll put a picture in. Oh, look. It has some little ties here, so you can like tie it to something. I didn't know it had the ties on there. Nope, it goes all the way down. I don't know if that's one. I think it ties this together. I think this was like two pieces and they tie it together. Or that's Persian. But anyway, I know y'all probably never seen anyone use this kind of a thing before, but I love this. And the way that I had it set up, it kind of extends the space inside of the area, right? So it kind of makes it bigger, and it kind of closes it off on the end, and like you can still see out kind of, and it just makes all the difference with, you know, feeling secure and feeling, you know, like you can go ahead and go to sleep because it's more private. So I don't know. I don't know how to fold this down better. I'm gonna have to like do some practicing and some work with it and see like how, I mean, when the package they sent it in, it was folded down, but once I opened it up, that was all over with. So I need to do some more like trying to fold this down because I love this. I love this. So, and it's so big and bulky. So big and bulky. So I'm gonna have to do some more work with this to see how I can get it folded down, and maybe even get it inside the backpack. Well, I'm probably gonna have to put it on the outside backpack just to be truthful. It's so bulky. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. Also, I had tried to make Miss Pebbles some hot dogs at the pool, and my canister was not cooperating. It wasn't staying, the stove wasn't staying on, so I had to purchase another canister. So I had 2 canisters on this trip, one that did not work and one that did work. I was able to cook me some food with my new canister and my stove. So my stove is fine and the new canister is fine. Just, I don't know what's wrong with the old canister. You know, when you shake it, it feels like it's at least halfway full. I don't know why it wouldn't work that day. I don't know why. So I think that's about it, guys. Like, I took way too much stuff. I had double food, more than double food, because look at all this. This is how much I brought back. I really did not need to take that much food, and I had like 2 spoons. I only needed to take 1. Like, I guess I thought I was gonna be starving for the trip, and I know I'm usually not starving, but like, what if I was starving when I was out there? I don't know what I was thinking, but I had way too much food. I had 2 giant bags of food, and neither one was needed. I just needed a few little things, and I even have more food things inside this big bag. Now, the second night, I had taken the chair down to the fire, so I left the chair down by the fire. So I didn't have the chair to sit the stuff in when I went back to the camp. So this was on the ground underneath my hammock, and it did get a little bit wet on the bottom. This is the purple rain fly that I had like covering up the bag so it wouldn't get wet, because I had some blankets and stuff inside of here. This is the headlights that I never even got out. I had this, which I could have eaten, which I did purchase. I had another jacket. Did not feel like putting that on. How many jackets would I put on? It wouldn't make a difference. Okay, I had another soup. I had another tuna and a mashed potato inside of this bag, which is like the 3 more meals that were just inside here. They're not even in the food bags. So yeah, that was a little crazy. Okay, now this is empty. So I had this giant bag and the rainbow bag and a chair and the backpack. Way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. And most of it I didn't even use. So this is what I've learned. You know, always check your backpack and make sure that it's got the correct gear for the trip that you're going on. Each trip is gonna, you know, require different gear, and you're gonna want to make sure. I'm gonna want to make sure that I have the correct stuff for each one. So this one I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna put the clothing in here, and then for future trips I'll take in or out what clothing I need, and I will continue to take this stuff sack because this is soft on the outside, and I'll use that as a pillow. That's what I'm going to do for that. So I'm keeping that stuff sack. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff sacks that I'm taking out. Oh, I also want to add, I got this bag at the Dollar Tree, and it's like a purse. It's like a purse, and it goes like this. And this is what I have my electronics in right now. And I think I want to continue to use this as an electronics bag. Now, I'm doing something different with my backpack that I haven't seen anyone else do. For my ditty bag, I'm using my brain. So that's this, the top part of the backpack. So all of the little doodads and see, this is where I've decided that I'm going to poke my straps. This is the other strap. Oh, here's the strap that I messed up. This is wet. These are wet. This is the one that I messed up. See, I made little loops on them so that I could hang it around the tree, and it worked. It worked, thank goodness, because I didn't know that I had the other strap. So here's the other strap. So that's what I've decided, where I've decided I'm gonna put the straps. I should also have, two more stuff sacks. Guys, 2 more stuff sacks right there. I just found in the brain that I'm not going to be continuing to carry. Okay, but I have, because this one was for the straps, and I attached it to the outside of the bag. But what I've decided to do is put the straps in the brain. I'm gonna put the straps in the brain, and then I don't have to carry this anymore, and the straps will be accessible like I need them to be, because the first thing that I grab for when I go to set my stuff up is my straps. So these are gonna go into the brain. And then, y'all don't need to see this, but I just got all kinds of stuff in here. You know, and they had a restroom that I went to. Oh, here's another buff. This buff matches those green pants. So here's another buff, which I didn't use either one of them. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing really else in here that y'all need to see. This is wet wipes. I have a thing on the outside of the backpack that has like a little carrier for wet wipes. So I have 3 times, plus in the big bag I threw a package of wet wipes that have the, you know, the open and close thing on there. I did use one of those to clean off my feet before I got in my hammock once, but otherwise I use one wipe, you know. So I've got this, and I have some in my jacket pocket, which I didn't know, and I also have the thing on the outside of the backpack, so I don't need all of there's three times the amount that I needed, and I only used one. They did have a restroom that was equipped with toilet paper that I did use. So that's what I do for a ditty bag. I put everything in the brain, and I've also decided to have this as a electronics bag. But I'm gonna take some of these things out if they don't work, and also I've got my lighter in here. I have a lighter in here. So I'm gonna test those lights and see if I can get them to work here. If not, I'm gonna take them out or probably discard them. Otherwise, I'll continue to use this as an electronics bag. I really like that. I kept this in the hammock with me. I just poked it under my yellow accordion thing, and it stayed there and it was perfectly fine. And I kind of had it off to the side, so I didn't really notice it too much when I was sleeping. A couple of times, you know, it kind of went down too much, but you know, I really didn't notice it that much. And I want to continue to use this, but I can't seem to fit all of my stuff in here, so I don't know. Plus I want to fit at least one headlamp in here. I might put the headlamp in the brain, I'm not sure. or somewhere else. But I really like this. I really like this bag for my electronics bag. So I think that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say in this video. Or a couple of things that I wanted to say in the last video, but I left it out. I forgot. But if y'all can think of any questions or anything that I may have left out, just let me know there in the comments. The first night I did use my jacket as a pillow, and it worked perfectly. The second night, what did I use? I think I used a sleeping bag liner. But the second night I did sleep with the jacket on. I did not make videos this morning. Like the first morning when I woke up, I made a video. I did not make one this morning because I was in a rush to get down and get some breakfast and get back and get everything packed up real quick before my husband came to get me. That's why I did not make a video this morning. As you see in the the last video that I made, I woke up. What time did I wake up? Like 7 or something, and then I fell back asleep, and I didn't wake back up until 8:30, and I was supposed to be up by 8 because that's when breakfast was being served. I was supposed to be down there by 8, but I didn't wake up till 8:30. So I had to run to the restroom, and then I went down and got me something to eat, and then I came back up and started getting everything ready. So I've been drinking only water for the last few days, except for the coffee that I had, which was very good. And yes, that's why I didn't make a video this morning. I'm so sorry. I was in a rush, but the breakfast was good, and I got everything together in time, and it worked out great. And I loved the trip, and I had a really great time. Okay, so I guess that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.